every creator, they want to become a full-time creator. It's like the dream, right? Quit your 9 to 5, but you did that and then you went back to the corporate world. What was the reason with wanting to go back to, a full-time job?
I said, I'll give myself 1 year, and I tripled my corporate income. I got to travel with my best friend, got to work remotely, got to wake up, do whatever I want.
Sounds like the life.
Watch.
You made 3 times more money,
Yeah.
you get to travel, do whatever you want. Why would you go back?
It's the loneliest year I've ever had. It was so hard getting paid by companies and brands. I was fighting companies for months to get paid, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I don't want to do this full time.
Do you think you'll always keep creating content?
I would love to. You have to remember you're doing it for yourself. Because when people don't get brand deals and they don't get engagement, then they quit because you're doing it for something externally. If you can always just do it for yourself, you'll always find something to post about.
What's your definition for a good post on LinkedIn?
Vulnerable, authenticity, and raw. You're not afraid to hide who you are because so many people, they're hiding who they are. They make a post and it's like, I know nothing about you.
Yeah.
I want the post that tells me who you are. Why would I follow you if I don't know who you are?
Welcome back to the still unnamed podcast.
Still unnamed?
Episode 9, or is it 8?
Dang, you're not allowed to do intros anymore. Episode 8 of the Event Shark TV podcast. We are still figuring out the name of the podcast. We are still taking submissions. So we got Linda Lee in the house.
Hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Linda is a fellow LinkedIn creator, much bigger than me or Ding combined. She has been killing it on LinkedIn. How long have you been creating on LinkedIn?
2 years?
2 years.
Wow.
2 years-ish?
Wow. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
I think Linda's the biggest person on LinkedIn we know personally. Probably, at least one
And
of
the
them.
coolest.
And the
No
coolest.
offense, other LinkedIn people. We like you too, but you're not Linda.
And you guys are the only in-person rappers that I know in real life. I only listen to them because I can't afford their tickets, so.
Yeah, well, notice how she said rappers, because when Linda came in here and she's asking how we met, I said I also like to rap, and then we met because of LinkedIn rapping, me and Ding did. So I'm just a content creator that likes to rap. Ding's the actual rapper.
Oh, wow.
No, that's not even true. Jake is musically gifted and talented.
I have something for you both first.
Oh!
Anytime I meet a new person, they get a gift from me.
So if you want to meet someone, go meet Linda so you get free gifts.
That's right.
Okay,
Wow,
so one is chip off the old block, and one is fortune favors the bold, and you guys get to pick. So I'm not going to give it to you. You get to pick which one you want.
Let's just go to the ones that you're holding next to us.
Okay. You have to open it.
Chip.
All right.
off the
Fortune
bold.
favors.
You go
bold.
first, Ding.
I made
me.
it. So
You made it?
I made it.
Oh! We got some beautiful stickers on here. I don't know if the camera can
No one
pick
makes
that up.
handmade gifts anymore.
This is...
What?
I don't know what these are, but...
They're paper fortune cookies. So you just pull one out. You don't break it. You pull one out. There's a note each time you need motivation.
Wow.
This
that's
is
so cool.
This is like the
Yeah.
coolest thing I've ever gotten. Here,
Everyone
we'd
says
have to we'll have to take pictures and post it. But
That's-
let's open a fortune, Jake.
Yeah.
Jake, you should open a fortune
Yeah,
too.
you should open a fortune. Just don't break it so you can reuse it. Yeah, just pull one out. Just don't eat them. That's it.
Motivation Monday over here.
This is so great. We don't do enough handmade stuff anymore. You always passed failure on the way to success. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
You always pass failure on the way to success. That's a true
Very
statement.
true.
The greatest loss is what dies inside of us while we live.
Just don't let whatever you want to come true die while you're living. So make
Yeah,
it come
that's
to
real.
life.
That's cool.
Yeah. Your turn.
Is this? Oh, I still get to open
Yeah.
it. I thought forgot about me. Here we go.
I feel so motivated.
They're
All right.
cute.
They're super cute.
This one's handmade too.
Oh, chips, hooray!
So I made them. So if you just open the top, there's a tape. So you just take the tape out and then you open it. There's a pun for each potato chip.
What?
Yeah.
Yo.
All right, y'all. If
Here.
you're watching this and you're gonna be on the podcast in the future, like the bar has been raised. The bar has been raised.
Look at Linda's camera. She has the lays in it. She says, "Whatever you are, brie a good one, like brie the cheese."
Yeah. There you go.
That's pretty good.
That's so. I just love that it's like homemade gift.
Yeah.
Yeah. That human.
So much better than a gift
Yeah,
card.
human touch. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I could see why doing the little things right in life
Yeah.
is like how I'm thinking of something poetic here. You're the
Jake, I
poetic-
thought you were a
the
rapper.
poetic person. You tell us.
The little things mean a lot more than the big things.
Exactly. The little things mean a lot. So
They do. Anyone can get a product gift, but no one can handmade a gift.
You're not finding this on insert gifting platform of your choice.
No, you're not.
Do you want to sponsor the podcast? Send us a reach us where you're at. Anyways,
yeah, I think this perfectly kind of shows your personality, and like I think it shows kind of the content also that you're creating on LinkedIn. You're really personable. You open up a lot. You're inspiring, I'd say, or some different ways.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
So I think this is like a perfect synopsis or look into what Linda Lee is really like. And
Thank you. Yeah, that's why I don't meet people often. The ones that I do, they always get something from me, but they don't know that. So when I meet someone, I'm just like, hey, I have something for you. They're just like, well, usually people that, long term, they make you something because it has to be earned. But I was just like, well, kind of should come from a stranger. So that means that you're worthy just as you are. Like, you don't have to earn someone's friendship, relationship, anything.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
that's a bar.
We kind of been starting off our podcast just with rapid fire questions, just to get right into it. Okay.
Let's do it.
What's one LinkedIn post you almost didn't post but are glad you did?
It was the first post that ever went viral for me. It was about like leaving a job and choosing yourself. It's crazy because it went viral the day that they told me my dog was going to die. So I guess like the universe gave me that one. I guess like just post whatever you think is bad and then you have no idea what it can do.
That's been my motto too, is just to let it rip,
Yeah.
not overthink it, because I think the ones where you're overthinking too much.
It's crazy that all the ones that I, before that one, all the ones that I did, I spent like an hour on them, they all flopped. The one that I did, I thought about like 30 seconds, it exploded. So don't think, just do.
Yeah, and Linda, how long were you creating for before the first post went viral?
3 months.
3 months?
3 months. I made a promise myself, like I would post every single day. I got on, post every single day, got 1 to 5 likes for 3 months straight, and then exploded. So that's why you can't give up, because if you give up, that's where the gold usually is. You're just one dig away from the gold.
Yeah, we've all seen that meme image of them in the cave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Diamonds are right. You're so close.
Yeah.
So what's the best type of LinkedIn post?
The best type of LinkedIn post? You mean like text or video? What do you mean?
I don't care. It's whatever you think is the best. Whether it doesn't have to be best performing, but best to read, best to create. What's your favorite type of LinkedIn post?
It's the one that shows your personality. It's the one that's the most unfiltered, the one that's the most raw, the one that's not AI generated most of the time. There's nothing wrong with using AI, but people can tell if you use AI. AI is supposed to help you structure. It's not supposed to help you become the person that's performing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Linda, when we say the best post, oftentimes it's helpful to the listener to think about what is the criteria? How are we measuring that? So what's your definition for a good post on LinkedIn?
Vulnerable, authenticity, and raw. And it shows like hardships. It's like you're not afraid to hide who you are, because so many people, they're hiding who they are. They're not, like, they make a post and it's like, I know nothing about you.
Yeah.
I want the post that like tells me who you are. Why would I follow you if I don't know who you are?
I totally agree with that. I was even just looking at Dan from Exit 5. He made a post about how he had failed his like consulting business before he started Exit 5, and that really gave me a really good glimpse into Dan over at Exit 5 and how they started that business. I think it was one of his better performance. I don't know like how his engagement looks or whatever, but people just love that raw vulnerability.
Yeah.
Vulnerability.
Yeah.
And I think even like, Ding, you talk a lot about your early struggles with the sales rap, and I think that, that shows a lot of.
Yeah. I think it makes you more real. And with Linda, I've been following you for a while now, and you've spoken pretty openly about, some struggles in the family life and substance abuse in the family. And that's something that I experienced growing up too. So, seeing that makes me relate to you more as a person. Right. And when you share vulnerable, authentic content, even if you come in with other content that's more of a value add, more of a how to, instructional content, the perception is different because people think that's coming from a real person. It's not coming from an AI bot farm.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Because those posts get you the real friends, because it's just like most people, they're afraid to do that. They're just looking for someone that can say what they're afraid to say.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of gurus out there that it's like no offense to gurus in India.
Don't shut. What do you have against the gurus?
I don't have anything against the gurus, man. In fact, we love gurus. Shout out to Jay, man. That's
Guru Media.
The Guru Media. But Guru, Rockstar Ninja, that's, a lot of these terms. People will try to present like everything's positive, right? Everything's always going well. But we know that can't be true in life. There's ups and downs. Everyone has things they struggle with. Everyone takes an L here and there. So I think being a more well-rounded person online like you are,
yeah, I think like constant positivity, it hurts people's feelings, to be honest. It's like, wow, I'm doing horrible with my life because I'm not positive and life is not going great every single day. I'm not waking up and doing ice baths or whatever it is.
I feel like that's one of the things for you, though, that's really stood out with your type of content is that you do just are open up and you're an open book, and that lets people to really relate to you. And as you said, create those meaningful relationships.
Definitely.
And so even like Ding having that reflection with his own family, ties and problems kind of relates to you, and how you talk about your dad and things like that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, vulnerability goes a long way.
And I think that's tough too, right? Because when you put yourself online, it's hard to be vulnerable. What's your advice with being vulnerable online?
If you made peace with it, with yourself, there's nothing that anyone can say that will hurt. Because like a lot of the things that I put out, it's harsh. Like people get offended, they attack me, they make memes about me, and I'm like, hey, I made peace with it. I'm okay with it. I don't care what you say. And if you don't have my number, you don't get to have an opinion about me. So it's like, you don't pay my bills. Like the hate is just like extra engagement. That's just the mindset that I have constantly. It's just that, also it's actually a filter. I learned that in therapy. I put out these things so I can find out who my real friends are, who my audience is. And I'm like, please unfollow me if you don't resonate with me, because I only want people who respect me for who I am. Because like, I'm not going to be this person and then this person, like two separate people. I'm going to be me, and either you accept me or you leave me alone. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think you have one really good quote. It's like the price of creation is criticism. Okay, if you're going to put yourself out there, it's just, you're going to get criticized no matter what.
Yeah, if you don't want to be criticized, don't ever leave your house.
We're going to keep going to rapid fire questions.
These are great questions, whoever came up with these.
Sam Altman, just kidding.
So basically, use the transcripts of all the podcasts that you did.
Oh, wow.
And then also put in like a bunch of your LinkedIn posts that did really well, and then came up with an outline, and then cherry picked some of our favorite questions from it.
So amazing.
Yeah, so that's a good use case of AI, but we're not like...
That's still amazing.
That's how we've been prepping for these podcasts to make them, because we don't want the questions to be super like things that are super basic or things you've already talked about. We want to dive deeper into maybe stuff you've already put online. People that know you can dive a little deeper and peel back the onion.
Yeah, great use of AI here. Human.
What's the most overrated advice for LinkedIn creators?
Follow the algorithm. There is no algorithm. There really is no algorithm. It does not matter when you post. It doesn't matter if you comment or like or something. If your post does well, it will do well. If it doesn't, it won't. It doesn't matter how many connections you have. None of those things matter.
Just focus on creating good content, right?
There we go.
If you focus on as much time as you're worried about the algorithm, you'll probably... You're just taking away from not focusing on making good content.
Yeah, a lot of clients I have, they're just like, we're afraid because of the algorithm. We're afraid because no one will like it. I'm like, no one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares.
I think there's something to be said, too, of, Linda, you've been creating for 2 years now, right? You've built a large bought-in, engaged audience that follows you, and you've turned people away at certain points. But I think it just goes to show that success as a content creator is a long game, right? And I think too many people over-index on an individual post. This has to go viral or else my whole content strategy is a flop, but they don't know what they're going to post 3 days from now, right? Yeah. It's a long game.
I think the people who constantly go viral, there's a lot of people that use like engagement pods or they use like cheat sheets, and I feel like going viral all the time is actually like not authentic either, because people don't even know if you're real. Is it like a virtual assistant that's doing all the work? Is it AI? Are you in the community? And there's people that pay to like get engagement, and it's like not everything's real.
Welcome to the internet.
Yeah, I'm curious, just real quick before going on the next question. So I've heard of engagement pods. What's a cheat sheet?
Cheat sheet, it's like they take people's posts and then they put it in ChatGPT or AI and they just plagiarize it and just reuse it. She's like, well, technically I didn't copy your post because 1 or 2 words is different. I'm like,
it's like, okay, this concept, we've seen it go viral, so it's validated with the audience. We're gonna remix it with some AI, and then it's like Theseus's ship. Right, you replace all the individual parts enough times. Is it still the same thing? Philosophically, it pretty much is. Okay, well, don't do that.
Yeah, I know someone that did that, and I just like lost their immediate judge of character when they did that. I'm just like, come on.
It goes to show like you don't care about your community and you're not even real. You just care about like this fake engagement that people can see through.
Yeah, something that was popular around 2-3 years ago was people taking these viral TikToks, literally downloading the video from TikTok with the watermark still there and just posting it on a LinkedIn. And I'd see it get millions of likes. I'm like, wow.
No credit to the person.
Yeah, but what I found is, nowadays I go back to those folks and I look up their profiles. They're doing polls, getting 40 responses, 2 likes on the post. And I think when you don't come with original thoughts and ideas with your content, if you're just constantly copying other people, stealing other people's content, people can get that elsewhere. They don't need to come to you to get your content. So you long term, you don't build any differentiation.
Yeah, you can copy, but you can't be.
I think that's why the best creators like just outlive everyone because they're just genuinely themselves. One thing you used to believe about LinkedIn content that you no longer do.
Nothing is real anymore. For me, it blew my mind when I would see all of these creators go viral and I was just like, how are you getting like 1,000 likes in like 10 minutes for every post? And then I asked them, I was just like, how did you do that? Like, well, you're a really great like writer. I really like respect it. They're like, oh, I use AI to write everything. It's not even me. Like, I'm like, am I even talking to you? He's like, no, I'm like his VA. And I was like, are you serious? So nothing is real anymore. I think that blew my mind. Like, I used to think like the person I talked to, the person who I respected that wrote it is actually them. And I don't even know who they are anymore. No one's really real. Actually, some, not all.
Some troubling things on the internet about AI, and I wonder how far it's going to go, right?
Yeah, it's a bunch of people not being real on their reel so they can reel in an audience.
All right.
Hook them with
That's
joy.
real, man.
That's why you don't let the rapper do the podcast. All right.
What's the process to write your content?
I just get on and I write it on the spot. I don't have like drafts. I don't sit there and think. I honestly just get on except for brand posts. Some brands, like, they get so like upset with me because they're just like, hello, this is due. And I'm like, my brain doesn't work like that. And then they're very happy because at the last minute, they're just like, oh, she writes really well, and it explodes because they realize that I'm like a type B person when it comes to content. Because I want to think of content as something like that I get to do, not something that I have to do. Because like for gifts, like people are like, why don't you sell like the gifts that you make? I'm like, then it becomes I have to do it, not I get to. And if I get to do something, I'm happy and I get all these ideas and I'm inspired. But if I have to do something, just a chore, and you just drag it and you procrastinate it because you put off the things that are like a chore and it's like a force. You do the things right away that you're inspired by, you're passionate, and you love. No drafts, no structure, nothing. It's just me getting on and just being vulnerable and authentic in that moment, and then it just flows. That's what I think people should do. Like, just forget everything. Just get on, write, and then just let it be.
Do you time block it, or just until you're done?
Oh, I just wake up and I just do it when I want to. Because again, unless it's like a brand partnership, then that's different. But if it's just content, it's just like, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I used to make videos for fun, and then I started becoming a job. So now I had to find new hobbies.
That's why you ran a marathon, right?
Yeah, shout out. We both ran marathons.
Ran it.
Was you run the Austin Marathon?
I did.
Hell yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so glad it's over.
Are you going to run some more?
I think the next one is San Diego. I'm trying to do either San Diego. I was going to do Cincinnati, but I got injured. So we're going to try to push it one more month. Goal is to do 5 this year.
It's hard to stay. I keep like hurting my feet and stuff because it's hard to run 15 miles, for a run and then not get hurt.
That's insane.
Yeah. First off, major respect for doing a marathon. It's not easy. I'm curious.
What percent of people do marathons?
I've never done a marathon. Most of our audience has never done a marathon.
You don't have to.
I would love to get y'all's take on what motivated you guys to get into running and to sign up for a marathon and do something so difficult.
The first marathon was because I was trying to impress a guy. And then he didn't work out, and I was like, I don't want to run anymore. Because, you do it for something. And then my best friend's husband was just, I was going to quit. And then she got him to sign up to do it with me. And I was just like, dang it, I can't quit now. Because he already paid for it. And then I got up and I just ran it anyways with him. And I was just like, I hate this. And I was like, never again. But then this time, I did it for me. I didn't train for it. I ran it the day before. I was just like, I was so unprepared. Like the next day, I didn't have the proper anything. So I had to run with the shoes I put my keys in my shoes to run. It was horrible. I don't recommend it. It was awful. Prepare. Don't be like me. This is why I'm like spontaneous. I just like to get up and do things.
You're super type B.
Yeah. Type A when it comes to my house, but type B when it comes to everything else.
Just chill.
Yeah.
Do people call you chill?
I go to therapy, so yes.
Okay.
Now. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, therapy helps a lot.
Shout out therapy.
Episode 8 sponsored by therapy.
Okay, you can sign up with BetterHelp. The code is in the caption.
Yeah, event shark 25. Wait, Jake, you didn't answer. I want to hear your. I don't think you ever said it on camera.
I've always just wanted to run a marathon. It's been on my bucket list forever, and
Painful bucket list.
painful bucket list. I personally like running. It's kind of like a meditation for me. So that's why.
Okay, we're gonna do a little live scripting right now. Talk about your injury and then the recovery process going into the marathon. That's one of our clips.
I don't want to take away from Linda's.
Okay,
That's
that's
okay.
fine.
From Linda's bit. We're talking about B2B content.
That's fair. That's fair.
Hey, if you want to learn about my marathon and my experience, go check out the marathon video on my YouTube.
I saw that. That was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Mason on our team. He shot and edited that one. He killed it. One tool or workflow that saves your sanity.
I don't really use anything. I just use me. I just use myself. Is that right? Yeah, it's just me. It's just me, guys. There's no VA. It's just all me. If I comment, it's me. I don't have a VA or anything. So if I'm making those jokes online, it's all me.
Hell yeah.
I don't use any workflows. I'm Asian. I'm so cheap. I'm just like, I'm not paying $10 a month for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Use yourself.
Yeah.
I think in the world of everyone trying to use more tools and more AI, Linda's like, it's still working for me. I'm just in myself.
Yeah.
I think
it's just me. Because like you're your best asset. Like these tools can disappear, and tools like I hate those Chrome extensions. They keep like logging me out, and I'm just like I give up. I'm like, you can just stay logged out. It's okay.
Yeah. I think depending on like LinkedIn terms of service, they're not super friendly towards all of the API connections either. So I mean, we obviously recently with Seamless and Apollo getting kicked out of the LinkedIn API, they're really cracking down on it. I know a lot of people that have gotten their accounts restricted or banned using crawlers.
I have so many friends that like they get like the slap on the wrist where they're like at 300,000. They get like all of their following taken away just to get like consequences. It's just like don't use VAs to go and snoop around. You know.
Yeah.
People know. Hey, LinkedIn knows.
So no one's going to be canceling Linda because she's doing it authentically.
Yes, I don't have VAs are expensive too.
And how long did it take you to find your voice?
I'm still finding my voice. I feel like we're all finding our voice. Like, I think it's kind of crazy. I don't like people who niche down, which is why it's very hard on LinkedIn when, like, all the gurus, you know, the ninjas, like you said, they're always like, hey, you have to post this or you have to do this. And I think that's so dangerous when you are niched into one thing and then people know you for just that one thing. And then when you try to pivot or change yourself, they just don't accept you. It's like high school. People in high school only know you for that one person that you were, like the awkward, antisocial kid. I don't know if you wore baggy pants or anything, and they see you 10 years later. It's like, no, they're still the same person. They never change. And that's why I feel like people should just be adaptable. They should always keep finding their voice and like adapting to what works for them. And like I could change into something completely different next year. My content changes every single month. I don't do the same thing all the time.
And then that's why you probably just have a lot of people that stick around because they like Linda for Linda, not Linda for these 10 tips on workplace.
You will never
blah, blah.
see me doing that. Ever. Yeah, I don't ever give advice. I only share perspective and stories. And if you like it, you can follow along. If you don't, you can just move along.
What was the post that you did that blew up that was about counter negotiations?
The post that I blew up was at the time I had a friend who was he was leaving a job and they're just like, hey, you should stay. We'll give you more money. We'll give you a promotion. We'll give you everything that you dreamed of. And it was just until he left. Like they didn't see his worth when they had him, just when they're about to lose him. And then it just exploded at that time. And that post changed my life because that was the post that made me realize when you go viral, so LinkedIn is different. Viral on LinkedIn is different than viral on TikTok and Instagram. You can post your dog and you can go viral on TikTok and Instagram. But on LinkedIn, when you go viral, you find out what people like. And people go viral because they do something that's funny, authentic, raw, or they get hated for it. And that's how you find out what is the best posts and niche for you in that moment. And for me, it was storytelling real life events. So I always tell people, it's like the second you go viral, you know what you need to keep doing.
I mean, that's a good answer for
Oh, I thought you were gonna fist bump me or something.
Oh yeah,
Oops,
yeah.
my bad.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is he doing?
We can use this. I was grabbing my phone because.
You're like, psych.
Whoa! No.
Think fast.
I think it's time for intermission with our
Okay.
a pun.
Those are so cool. They look like chips.
Yeah. So I just want the camera's not going to focus on it as well, but you can see the border. It's like, I think it's a hand drawn with the color, and then there's hand crinkled texture, so they actually feel like potato chips. So incredible, Linda.
Wow, there's some detail here.
I'm afraid of the ocean mainly because I have dry humor. That's a real knee slapper.
I got another ocean one. When the ocean needs help, it asks for a kelping hand.
It's so funny you guys both pick ocean.
Yeah, we're just we're getting deep. That's
Yeah,
why.
that's funny.
Just like the ocean.
Yeah. All right, give the camera a wave.
All right. There we go. Good job. Every creator wants to, I feel like they want to become a full-time creator. And you did that, and then you went back to the corporate world.
Yes, I start in 2 weeks.
Congrats on the new job.
Thank you.
Yeah, everyone wants, that's like the dream, right? To become a full-time influencer, to create content so you can quit your 9 to 5. But you did that, and then maybe you didn't like it as much. Or what was the reason with wanting to go back to, a full-time job?
Yes, so
Obviously, I feel like you could stay an influencer full-time if you really
I definitely can. I still will do it full-time-ish on the side, full-time, part-time. So last year, like my last corporate job, they had told me that they were not going to convert me, even though they said that they were. And then they told me that, oh, you have to train your replacement. And then I resigned because I was just like, I'm not doing that. And we ended on good terms. And then I was just like, the market is so brutal. I don't want to compete with people. That sounds horrendous. So then I was just like, I'm doing pretty good on the side. Let's see where we can take it. And I said, I'll give myself 1 year. And I tripled my corporate income, and the job offer that I got recently, I still make more on content creation than I have the job. So in the year, I got to travel with my best friend, got to work remotely, got to wake up, do whatever I want.
Sounds like the life.
Watch.
You made 3 times more money.
Yeah.
You get to travel, do whatever you want. Why would you go back?
It's the loneliest year I've ever had. And people don't tell you it's honestly not everything that it's cracked up to be. It was so hard getting paid by companies and brands. I was fighting companies for months to get paid, and rent is due every 30 days. It's not due 60 days, 90 days, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I don't want to do this full time. And then I also found out that people are really fake online too. They just want to be your friend, not because they want to be your friend. They want to be your friend because you can do something for them. Can you give me a referral? Can you engage with my posts? Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And then they would never talk to you again. And then I realized I kind of miss having a quiet, normal life. And then I moved away from my family. I don't have any really friends here. And I was spending every single day alone. And I was just like, this is really sad. And then I talked to my therapist, and they were just like, what do you want? And I was just like, I kind of want a quiet life. I want a quiet life. And I went on a walk with my neighbor, and she had no idea who I was or what I did. And she was just like, we just talk about the movies and books and dates or whatever. And I was just like, wow, it's so normal to have a regular friend who's not so obsessed with their business or content or money. It's just so nice. It's fine to have those friends. But I also wanted a friend who actually just wanted to be normal. So yeah, it's really great and the money's great, but it's not all that it's cracked up to be.
Yeah. I think my relationships with the people that I had as coworkers of my, tech job are different now than with my relationships with other agency owners and stuff. It's just a different relationship. So I could understand why maybe it's not what you always wanted, right?
Yeah, it's what I thought I wanted. But, there's nothing wrong with the stable job too. And the main reason I want to go back is so I can have people to talk to every day. People who just treat me like, hey, she's not an influencer who can get us money. She's just a person that we work with. Maybe we'll go grab lunch or dinner sometimes. And that's okay too. Yeah.
You were even talking about how you're thinking about making content. If you're forced to make content every day for your income, maybe that took away from the creativity.
Oh, it took away. I was so burnt out, and it's crazy because I was not doing anything to get burnt out, but I was just like, why do I have to post every single day? And I think it was the audience that was making me feel really sad because everyone started just not to care about real relationships anymore. People just started to care about let's go viral. Like, I would connect with someone on LinkedIn and they'd be like, hey, you want to buy this for me? Hey, can we exchange WhatsApp and can we comment? Do you want to join my pod? And I was just like, no. So it's not that great. It starts to feel really lonely. And it was also hard because if you it was one of those conditional friendships where it was like, if you stepped back, they wouldn't want anything to do with you anymore. And can you imagine not wanting to be someone's friend because they had nothing else to offer because they didn't want to post or like give you brand deals? Yeah, it's not all that it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, it's a very transactional space, I think.
There we go.
That's the right word.
That's the right word.
I think there's something to be said for, because I go through this, right, is most of the people that I meet through doing Event Shark and the Sales Rapper, it's very parasocial, where I meet a lot of people who know me and have seen my content for a long time, and I know nothing about them. They know a lot about me. So you have an asymmetric foundation on a new connection, right? And I do miss, the like being in office back in the day, like we're all commiserating, everyone's dealing with the same shit. Then you have points of forced relatability. Because I think what's different between a W-2 full-time role and entrepreneurship and being a creator is that, like, Jake and I are co-founders and we obsess over the business, and that's all we think about. That's all we talk about is the business. I think when you have a full-time role, when you're working for someone else, you almost have to have more of a work-life balance, right? Because you don't have as much ownership into that role. The upside's, not necessarily like you own this, right? So you could show up and you can clock out, and I think it's a little different being a full-time creator, is you can't detach from that. You're almost always working or thinking about work, like you said, thinking about what the audience wants, and you feel this pressure to create, you feel this pressure to stay on top and to continue growing. So I think for different personality types, it's really important to identify what your personal priorities are and not just go out and look at who's popping online and thinking you need to be that, or the other.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. It's crazy because like when you have your own business, when I had my full-time job, I could turn down opportunities because I was just like, no, you're not paying my worth. But then when you're full-time, you're like, oh man, I got to take every opportunity, and I'm afraid to negotiate because what if they say no and I can't pay my rent? And that's not always the case, but I was just like, you become more afraid to say no to things because it's just like, you're on your own. You don't have like that bi-weekly paycheck every 2 weeks. And I was just like, I don't want to work for you. I don't want to work with you. And it was just like, but I need the money for rent. I need it for savings or stabilities. And it's just hard to have to detach from that.
I always feel like when you're doing if you're talking about your personal life, right, in your storytelling, a lot of your content is like with that relationship with your job. I think your content is probably going to end up being better than when you're a full-time influencer, if that's not what you really want, like talking about, right? So I think the content,
my content when I was at my full-time job, it was like at its highest that it's ever been because a lot of people were more relatable. But when I quit, it was just like, I lost my inspiration. I don't have a manager being mean to me today, so I don't know what to write about. So yeah.
And more people are going to relate to that. It's like the marketer trying to tell you marketing tips, but they haven't done marketing in 5 years, right?
It's just like not relatable.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. Of course, thanks for asking. Great questions.
What would you tell your younger self right when you start posting LinkedIn content, if you could?
I'm so jealous of you that you're starting. I think that's what I would say to my younger self and to anyone who's starting. I'm so jealous of all of you who's starting because nobody is watching you. When you have such a big audience, you get looked at all the time. Anything you say or do, and you end up on Reddit and you get all these memes made about you. It hurts, and you get bullied because if you're just starting, no one cares. No one knows who you are. So enjoy it. Because if you do get big or go viral or anything, you get a lot of eyes on you. I get anxiety now that I have a big audience. I think the most freeing I ever felt was when I had no eyes on me because it was just I can do whatever I want. Now there's pressure to perform. It's hard. So enjoy it when there's nobody watching you because that's the time you're allowed to suck the most and no one cares. Yeah.
Do you think you'll always keep creating content?
I would love to. I think I have to find my spark again. I think I used to post 15 to 20 posts a week when I was first starting out. I hit 500,000 in 1 year. I was growing like 70 to 100K a month when I first started. It was insane. I don't know what I did. Well, yeah, I know what I did.
You were locked in.
Yeah, I was locked in. And then now I'll go like a week or two without posting. Last year I was going through a hard time. I went like almost 6 months without posting. I was posting like maybe twice a month, and that was it. I was just like so burnt out, so uninspired. And then I had to find my spark again. It's just like, you're not doing it for anyone. You have to remember you're doing it for yourself. If you can do it for yourself, because when people don't get brand deals and they don't get engagement, then they quit because you're doing it for something externally. If you can always just do it for yourself, you'll always find something to post about because you're the most interesting person in your life because you spend every day with yourself.
Mm-hmm. I also love the piece about, you're going through different things in life. You don't necessarily have the desire or the passion to create content. It's okay to take a step back, right? I think a lot of people beat themselves up to the point of not taking care of themselves. Like, hey, we have a lot of shit going on in life, but I got to post on LinkedIn. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Like, prioritize, take care of yourself first. Jake always gives me shit because I dropped that in. I also dropped Theseus's ship earlier, so for all my Greek philosophy aficionados out there, you never know what's coming next. I'm like the handmade gift box that Linda gave us. Shout out to Forrest Gump.
Right. Life is like a box of chocolates.
That's right.
You never know
if you're a dog, you can't have it. I don't know.
And you never know what kind of quote you're going to get out of this gift.
You like those cookies?
I love these cookies. Hold on, we got to shake it up to make sure that this is like, I have like a thing where I keep and I display every single like handwritten note or thing that I've gotten. Well, because it just means so much, right? Like as a influencer creator, you want to do one? Yeah. You get a ton. Like I get sent so much shit. Yeah. Like I have probably 35 to 40 hats from different brands, right? Because people know I wear hats.
And how many custom box of cookies do you have with little inspirational quotes?
Well, Grove Cookie Company, like they've sent me a lot of like actual cookies, but like this is so artistic. I don't know if you can see on the camera. Each handmade fortune cookie is made with thick cardstock with a custom pattern on it. The thing is floral, some plants. I feel at peace. I see butterflies on this shit. All right, let's see what my quote is. Yeah. And I'm just a big fan, Linda.
Yeah, it'll never expire, too. Real cookies expire. They go bad.
I don't know about real fortune cookies. I've been to some Chinese restaurants, man.
They don't expire. They've been in there for a while.
My parents own restaurants growing up, so I know about those fortune cookies. So I've seen some boxes sit in the back for years.
I'm never eating a fortune cookie.
We've never, don't get me wrong, I've never seen them actually get served to customers, but I've seen those boxes in the back. And when I was young and had the munchies, maybe, I might have gotten back in there.
All right, didn't get to the point.
All right. Don't let your dream... Wait, what? Don't let your dream never get off the... Sorry.
The back
My
porch.
reading comprehension is not...
Don't let your dream never get off the back porch.
I feel
Love
motivated.
comes from me, not to me. I like that.
I like that one.
I like that a lot. I like the fact that we're given love because you'll get love back if you give it love.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, you attract scary things. What you are, you attract.
That's so true.
So if you're like... You're not, you're not full. You attract people who will make you not full either.
What's one thing creators should stop doing?
They stop being proud of themselves. They just stop taking like time to just being proud of like where they started to where they are now. It's always just the next big thing. They're just never okay with like where they are. It's just nothing is ever good enough. And I think that's a problem a lot with like the industry. It's just like, it's not enough brands, it's not enough engagement, it's not enough money. They need to just be okay that they're just enough for now. I think like if you're okay with that mindset where you're okay with where you're at, what you're doing and just appreciating it, this like immense gratitude just comes to you. And it's just like nothing that happens externally can ever take that away because we can't control like if a brand's going to work with us or like how much money we're going to bring in this month or invoices will get paid, but we can control our mindset. And I think that keeps me grounded a lot.
Okay, so
hell yeah.
I actually want to break down for the audience how we do these.
All right.
Dude, we already did this.
Did we do this?
With Pep.
Oh, I guess so. Okay, well, this will be really quick.
This is just Ding's being lazy and not getting this probably ahead of time, where I spend 2 hours prepping and then Ding doesn't even write his 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 ahead of time.
But hey, I do a mean monologue on camera, though. All right, Linda.
All right.
Name 5 ways to grow on LinkedIn.
Post consistently 3 times a week, engage, comment, repost, DM people.
Boom,
There you
boom,
go.
5 booms. All right. Name 4 companies that start with the letter M.
M&M.
That's not a
My
company.
mind admit it is M&M's.
M&M's?
Like the candy.
It's not owned by Hershey's?
I guess it's a brand.
No, Let It Fly. It's also her favorite rapper, Eminem.
M starts with M.
Don't
I've worked with companies that start with M. This is so bad. What starts with M? What starts with M?
Okay, here, let's give some hints. Just brands. They don't have to be B2B, right? So their fries are really good when they're fresh and they're terrible
Oh
when
my
they're cold.
gosh, I'm so dumb. I thought it was LinkedIn brands. McDonald's, of course. I don't know. Why did you pick a hard letter? Why can't you pick like B? You know?
Okay, that's why we have editing. But just real quick to let Jake know that I prepped. Microsoft, McKinsey,
I'm so dumb. I'm not prepared for this.
Marketo, right, and Marigold.
This
Oh my
guy
gosh.
just reads tech companies
Oh my
in his
gosh.
sleep.
This is how I know I haven't been working for a year. I'm like, I don't pay attention to anything.
All right, so Linda, if I ask you B, you think you'll get it?
Can you do A?
I can do A.
Let's do A.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me 4 companies that start with the letter A.
Amazon, Apple, Applebee's, Apex.
Boom.
There we go.
There you go. Honorable mention, Adobe. They just had their summit. I was seeing
yes.
that on Vin's
Adobe.
story every day. All right. Okay. What are 3 ways for job seekers to stand out in their job search?
Polish up your resume. Don't send generic DMs that I need a job. Send like a customized DM. And don't be afraid to do outreach or comment on companies or people's posts, and then just keep posting every day and like have your open to work up.
Nice. That's fire. All right. So since this episode's going to drop during Asian month, AAPI Heritage Month, Jerry won. But for the Asian month, name 2 Asian creators to follow on LinkedIn.
Oh, that's so cool. Jerry Wan.
Oh, Jerry won.
Jerry Wan is awesome. And then Lorraine Lee is really cool too. She's having a book that's coming out called Unforgettable Presidents. Highly recommend it.
Fire.
I like that question, Dick.
And then, so Linda, the last one, I always leave it kind of open-ended. So this was the prep I was talking about. So is there something that you would like to promote or a call to action to give to the audience?
Honestly, nothing to promote other than just keep creating, just keep going. And as long as you just remember that no matter what happens, you were good enough before, during, and after. Remember, like if you're, especially to all the content creators out there, because numbers are such like a immeasurable metric. You were good enough before the numbers, you were good enough during the numbers, and you're still good enough after if you choose not to pursue it. Remember, you're good enough just for existing. And that's it.
Hey, Ding, sorry, I didn't mean to throw shots here.
It's all good, dude. It's all love, man. No. See, I need that because it makes me better, right?
Right. Thank you, Linda, for hopping in. Thanks for the beautiful gift.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for spending your time and spending an hour hanging out with us, telling us all about, your personal journey, creating content advice for creators. And where can people find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn
All right, go type in Linda Lee and she'll probably pop up
with the sunflower.
with the sunflower. And we'll see you on the next episode of Event Shark TV podcasts. Bye-bye.
Like, comment, subscribe, ring that motherfucking bell. Let's go.